I got so invested that I forgot to pause the recording.
This should be another chronosorter. It should work in similar ways with the one we saw near the luminous shore. The entrance is built on that cliff, and it's been blocked. We will need to break the 3 photon vaults with ranged attacks first.
What is it, Shingli?
Nothing. I was wondering, how did the Court of Savante create such an advanced mechanism using the Sentinel's power? Mortals aren't supposed to be able to comprehend it. I've never heard of any human civilization having the ability to manipulate time. Unless the Sentinel willingly taught them. But why? We need to focus on items related to the Court of Savante in Truthseeker's Pass. Maybe we can find some clues there.
Oh, I see.
Good. Did you see the tacitite fulminate on that cliff? Perhaps we can create an opening in this disk with an explosion.
Can we talk about the music?
It worked. The opening fits right onto the middle photon vault.
Rover, now we can hit the 3 photon vaults simultaneously.
Okay, but oh.
As always, I'm the one you need. I really can't.
Might as well.
The blockade has been lifted. Let's go in.
It works at least.
But Yinlin's sexy.
Why are there tacit discords here? No. These monsters, they don't look like the usual tacit discords.
These also look like the works of the Court of Savante. Did they create these simulated holograms to protect this place?
Bask in the sunlight.
As you wish. Miscalculation. Burn!
Okay.
Leave me alone. Inferno! Let's do this another way. Nowhere to hide.
Bad timing. Shadow descends. You will obey. One with the sounds.
Fury boils. Burn! Burn to ashes. Let's do this another way.
Endure and defy.
Oh, hi.
Let's do this another way. Fury boils! Inferno! What a clever. Silence!
Nowhere to hide. That thing up ahead. Is it another mechanism?
It seems to have unlocked after we got rid of those holograms. Let's go.
Those were holograms? Really strong for holograms. I still don't know what these bells are for. What are the bells for? Why am I collecting the bells?
The glowing patterns on that gate. It's a flare crest.
Did the Court of Savante build this too?
Yes. The flare crests have a complex structure, but they can be deciphered.
Oh, you sweet
with
summer
patience.
child. Huh?
See how each star represents a flare stone? That mechanism we accidentally solved earlier should be one of them.
That's why the corresponding star is dimmed.
Yes. We still need the other two flare stones to open it. Wait. The blood and scales here. It's Jinshi.
Jinshi was injured?
She is likely teetering on the edge of overclocking now. We are running out of time.
Okay, an event is cleared. Why is it telling? Okay. Give me more snails. Bell ringing. That joke rings a bell, Dill. Keep it up, and our friendship will be long gone. Oh, I'm gonna have to write that one down. Still remember you love me. Unfollow. No!
Remnants of the past.
Decades have passed, but those researchers' presence still lingers in this place.
That's a lot.
The Sentinel's situation is worse than we thought. It had already sustained severe injuries when it descended upon Mount Firmament. With one of the temporal programs lost, it no longer had the power to restore time. Instead, it could only stop and rewind it.
So the Sentinel protected Hongjin with its power, but it couldn't return things back to normal.
It would seem so. According to their theories, the Sentinel's injury would worsen over time. And if the Sentinel perishes, the temporal disruptions will spiral out of control, engulfing all of Jinzhou.
What's wrong, Dill? Afraid my statements ring true.
So the Fraxidus just added a pinch of salt to the already gaping wounds on Mount Firmament.
Is there any way to cure the Sentinel?
There's nothing we can do. At least
You
that's what it
started
says in
this.
these records. Only the Mianlong Chamber can provide temporary relief for the Sentinel, but it won't heal it completely. In the end, the Sentinel and a peculiar visitor who is immune to time disruptions would have to come up with a last resort.
Also, I've known Dill so long that I can hear Dill just going, ugh. The resonance.
The Sentinel couldn't be fixed, so they decided to replicate its power onto a resonator through induced resonance. Their experiments resulted in the first Chronosorter, a man-made resonance object.
So it worked.
No.
Hey Tara, welcome
A
back.
Chronosorter can only rewind time within a narrow range. It's no match for the Sentinel's immense power.
Shinsi.
We are getting closer and closer to the truth. 2 more flare stones left. Everything aside, first we must find Jinshi.
Another reason to get Farina.
Fury boils. Burn. Darn it. As you wish.
Bloom.
Fury boils. Inferno. Burn. Burn to ashes. Let's do this another way. Endure and defy.
$22K.
One with the sounds.
Give me a second here. Why is that crazy? What? Wait, what? Is that just better? What is that piece? Right? Like, that's kind of nuts, right? Oh, that's why. I was like, something's off. Oh. Now I'm getting the... I thought I increased my energy regen by 20, but...
Leave it to me.
Fury boils.
Also, if I only have one bad stat, I'll take it.
Feel my wrath. Let's do this another way.
Bruh.
Shadow follows. Remnants of the past.
Order. The second flare stone should be behind this gate. Let's restore the collapsed gate with this Chronos order.
Clank bang?
So it turned you into a clang bang. Please use the leap device to eject yourself and crash through that ice wall. Another Chronos order. Let's give it a try. The stone slates have formed a path. Now we can bring the Tacitite fulminate across the water.
I mean, couldn't we have just flown it? I guess not. Okay. Go. Now I'm curious, what happens if we go all the way back?
There is still another photon vault to break. We can't reach it from here. This hidden area may allow us to reach that photon vault.
Shadow descends. Keep it together. Down with the curtain. One with the sounds.
Yes, please. Okay. And you're right, Mortefi was a best friend. Not that I like it. I hate it. I hate it here. I wanted one team that didn't use Mortefi.
One last flare stone to go. There's a carrier lift nearby. Perhaps the flare stone is on the floor beneath us. We should be able to find Jinshi soon.
We've reached the carrier lift. Something about the carrier lift seems stuck.
Oh, gee, great. Going down.
Is that so?
What does it say?
So this file confirms that the chronosorters are artificial resonance objects. They activate when hit with a strong impact to create the corresponding resonance effects. And this also answers my previous question. The chronosorters rewind time through resonating with the Sentinel.
That sounds really powerful.
No, it was nowhere near enough. The chronosorters shut down once they are removed from the Sentinel's range, or the abnormal time flow on Mount Firmament. Plus, as artificial resonance objects, their capacity is limited. According to the Court of Savante researchers, there was a hypothesis that could potentially make them more powerful, the Second Resonance Awakening hypothesis, which states the collision between two resonating frequencies might cause a Second Resonance Awakening.
That prophecy.
Yes. That fight has to happen to trigger a Second Resonance Awakening for Jinshi, so she may exert even stronger resonance abilities, ones that allow her to restore the flow of time.
Did the Court of Savante's research succeed?
Countless chronosorters were made to collide with the Sentinel's frequencies.
Right?
But they were no match. All the machines turned to dust. One chronosorter briefly showed the power to restore time before breaking apart. This proved that a second awakening can indeed improve resonance ability. The research log mentioned that all chronosorters were working in an overdrive mode. It's similar to how human resonators experience overclocking, they wrote.
What is overclocking?
Overclocking happens when a resonator overexerts their ability. And this researcher who wrote this suggests that it might be the key to triggering a second awakening.
It doesn't sound like a good thing.
No, it's not. Exhausting oneself will only result in destruction. In addition, I noticed another detail in these records. The chronosorters required manual control, while the Sentinel Jue appeared to be under someone else's command. In the only incident of success, just as the chronosorter was about to break down, that peculiar visitor gave an order to the Sentinel. And the Sentinel successfully transferred some kind of energy to the chronosorter thanks to that order.
Overclocking.
Rover, do you have an idea?
What is Rover's idea?
Jinshi.
I love how expressive they are.
You.
Don't worry. Rover is special. The temporal disruption can't hurt him.
But Chang Li, you're...
I gave my word to be your pawn, and I intend to keep it. As your teacher and courtier, it is only right for me to do so. And let's not forget, without me playing the Wayfinder for Rover, we wouldn't even have him here. Rover has a strong connection to this place. You need his help to resolve Mount Firmament's crisis.
But we already owe Rover a lot.
I don't mind helping you again.
Thank you, Rover. Thank you. Rover, I will do everything I can to rescue the Sentinel as soon as possible. And we can finally talk to it in person. It will surely have the answers you want.
Let's cut to the chase. What did you find in Truthseeker's past, Jinchi?
According to the Court of Savante's records, the Sentinel was already injured upon its arrival at Mount Firmament. As time passed and its condition worsened, the flow of time became unstable here, causing temporal disruptions that could potentially threaten Jinzhou. Only the Sentinel's appointed resonator can restore its temporal mandate.
So her.
Their records indicate a solution. To reverse the rapid aging effect from temporal disruptions, I must deliberately collide with the Sentinel's resonance power during combat, triggering my second resonance awakening. That will enhance my power beyond its limits.
Let's say you can achieve all that, but Jinchi, do you understand what is at stake for yourself?
I understand. I share a resonance connection with Jue, but I never took the time to truly get to know it. I've been blind to its suffering for so long. Sentinel Jue has been guiding us since the city's founding with its wise words and well-crafted decisions. The temporal disruptions we face are just a side effect of its efforts to protect local people. Without the Sentinel blocking out tacit discords through its time manipulation power, Jinzhou would be a barren wasteland today.
So what do you plan to do, Jinchi? If the Sentinel's condition is indeed incurable, nobody knows how far the temporal disruptions will continue to spread. Today it's Mount Firmament, but tomorrow it could be all of Jinzhou.
Which is why they should solve it now.
I will. If it truly comes down to that, I'll fulfill Jue's prophecy myself. It's the only way to save Mount Firmament, protect Jinzhou, and help the Sentinel.
Have you thought about the consequences, Jinchi? Trying to trigger a second awakening by fighting the Sentinel, it could make you overclock at any moment. We both know what that means. You could lose your mind forever, or even disintegrate into dust. You don't want to end up like those chronosorters, shredded under immense pressure. On top of that, do you honestly believe you can fight in your current condition? I can see right through your facade, Jinchi. You're essentially committing suicide at this point.
You're one to talk, my teacher. I learned from
When you
the
mean
best.
cooked, SS?
When have you ever backed down from risking your life for what you believe in?
Oh? I don't remember ever teaching you that. We all die eventually, but we need to stay alive as long as we can to achieve more. Jinshi, you must live and inherit the Sentinel's power. Then you can save and protect these people for years to come.
Changli,
Jinshi, I don't intend to stop you. I know you've made up your mind. That's why I brought Rover here. You may have already guessed it. Rover is indeed the hero who fought by our Sentinel's side during Jinzhou's early days. He is also the mysterious visitor spoken of in tales about Mount Firmament.
So there goes all the mystery.
All evidence we've gathered points to this being true. If anyone can help us with the situation at Mount Firmament, it must be Rover.
I don't remember anything, but I can fight.
thank you, my teacher. Jingshi will keep your words in mind.
Lastly, we still don't know for sure how the Fraxidus is keeping our Sentinel trapped. This will determine if you can actually meet it face to face.
Maybe they manipulated the Sentinel's weaknesses.
Yes, it could be any of these scenarios. Lady Xingyi is already on the case. We should get an answer soon.
Okay.
The cipher key should be inside the stone chamber, behind its entrance gate. There is one more flare stone to work out. Let's get moving.
Give me ore! Even though this ore is very common.
Look, our last target. On those floating floor tiles. We need a way to restore them.
It's not working. We may need to follow a specific order.
How do I find the order?
It worked. The court of Savante set many traps here. They must have worked hard to protect Mianlong Chamber.
Better than nothing.
There's a lot of chests down here. Thanks, Rosen. Also, Rosen, who are you in my chat? Did I just do this the hard way? Oh. Okay, who's the trial resonator?
It's a trap! Watch out!
not your weakness.
Perish in flames. My blade yearns.
Gosh.
I'm fine. Silly mistake. Ha! Make it fast. Make it fast. Perish in flames.
Strike is one.
Together we vanquish. Beckon the divine flame.
This is why I said I want her. She's amazing. Did you see that her ult has a different animation if you're in her form, by the way?
And it's very much my companion now. Very.
How about you check your list of friends? Eh? Oh, hi, SS. So the only reason that I am even homies. I'm not gonna upgrade any of these, by the way. At least not yet. Because I'm just doing this for story purposes.
Let's go together.
I will be there for everyone.
Mono
as we head
Light
toward our
team.
shared future.
Do you like her more than Jinxie?
I'm done with all 3 flare stones.
Good. Let's head back to the entrance. We should be able to access the cipher key now.
But then again, Dill, like, a lot of these characters are just badass, though.
No hesitation.
Really? How come? Why does she fit your playstyle more?
Remnants of the past. An unexpected discovery.
cipher key.
Rover, take good care of the cipher key. I'm leaving the rest to you and Jinji.
What about you?
Please don't forget, I am your wayfinder. I journeyed with you into the mountains to ensure you meet up with Jinshi. From this point onward, I will be counting on you both to go and confront the Sentinel.
So are you going to be pulling for it when she comes out?
This is all I can do for you. I'm here to guide, not intervene. The path is yours to choose. Not to mention, the Fraxidus has been pestering us non-stop. You'll need someone
unfortunately,
to
I'm going to skip her because she's a fire buffer and I don't have any fusion characters. The Fraxidus are here for me.
Yes, they've been constantly watching you. Interested in your
I've got
every
Mortify,
move.
but I don't
They can never
use
seem to take their eyes off of you.
him as a main DPS.
By all means, please carry on without me. As for myself, I have a more fitting location to make my contributions from. Oh, speak of the devils. How rude. This is not how we greet people here. Allow me to demonstrate the proper etiquette.
That smile is so sinister.
Those artificers are nothing to worry about. Don't worry. Changli has her plans. I don't believe we will run into more ambushes on the way.
That smile was so evil.
Luminous energy.
Swift and resolute. Strike through the shadows.
Strike is one. I lost Changli.
Swift and resolute. I sense your weakness. Moment of resonance.
Notice it.
Swift and resolute. Swift and resolute. hesitation. The hour is upon us.
I thought it was cute.
Discovery.
Of course you would. Of course you would think it was cute. Please be good, please be good, please be good, please be good, please be good. I hate my life, I hate my life, I hate my life, I hate my life. Anything? Please? Why does the game hate me? Not terrible. The basic attack thing is just kind of wasted though. Where is, there you are.
Remnants of the past.
Blue. Luminous energy.
Swift and resolute. Strike in the shadows.
Together we fight. The sky beckons. Heaven ordains. Banish all vice.
Swift and resolute. The end has come. Unexpected discovery.
Okay, let's see here. Right now, I'm just kind of trying her out. Bruh.
Swift and resolute. I sense your weakness.
Strike is one.
Swift and resolute. Moment of resonance.
Embrace the change. Take flight. Sacred light. Leave it to me.
I thought I Yeah, she's really strong, even... The fact that she can trigger an outro skill without building up her thing is really crazy to me.
It's Madam Magistrate. She's back. I must go tell Lady Xinyi.
Gimme. Where do I find the long pearls? The sinister smile they find cute.
The Mianlung chamber is open now. You can proceed inside. Before you go, there's something important I need to tell you.
About the Fraxidus imprison your sentinel?
Changli was right. They used the Court of Cervantes' research to trap our sentinel in its resting chamber.
How did they do it?
They used the chronosorters. Our captured artificer revealed that the Fraxidus sent a death squad to invade Mount Firmament. They had a twofold plan. First, to place the chronosorter in the Mianlung chamber while it was still operational. And second, to lure the sentinel back to Mount Firmament. Although their death squad was no match for the sentinel, by forcing its hand, the powerful resonance ability of the sentinel would clash with the energy of the chronosorter. This would ultimately cause harm to itself.
Would that really make any difference?
What if the Fraxidus modified those chronosorters? A whole bunch of them, pushed to their limits, all working together to deliver one massive blow. But not even that was enough to take down the Sentinel. After the first hit, they set up modified flare crests in the Mianlung chamber to form a special force field along with those chronosorters. It prevented the Sentinel from replenishing energy, and eventually restricted its movement and perception.
So, we must free the Sentinel from that force field first.
It would be a task more complicated than it sounds. The people of Hongzhen have lived with the Sentinel for generations. We can usually tell if it's in good shape or not.
The British is coming out.
But now, the Fraxidus want to capture the Sentinel.
Capture.
They won't just stop at Mount
instead
Firmament.
of capture.
Madam Magistrate.
Okay, Tara, you
I'm
have a
sure
good
you
night's
didn't come
sleep. Thank you
here
so
just
much for
the
hanging
Sentinel.
out. I really do appreciate it.
Please tell us what you know, Madam Magistrate.
Yes. I will tell you everything.
So the Sentinel is actually injured. And it's been getting worse. The Fraxidus attacked while it hasn't healed yet. Their plans are devious as always. Madam Magistrate, you've already laid out this plan so far. It's always a challenge to decipher the Sentinel's intentions. But there were many theories about it in City Hall at the time. I couldn't fathom why it went through such great lengths to retrieve you from Mount Firmament and raise you within our walls.
Yeah, no, it's very... She's really struggling.
Perhaps the Sentinel saw in you the potential to one day restore the temporal program and ensure the survival of Jinzhou's inhabitants. I just never thought you'd be willing to follow through with that prophecy.
It was here on this very mountain that I first encountered the Sentinel. Back then, I was too young to remember anything. Even the image of Mount Firmament has slipped from my mind. But this time, as soon as I stood at the base of Mount Firmament, I felt a wave of recognition wash over me. Memories long buried resurfaced with sudden clarity. Lady Xingyi, I was born with my life, my everything connected to our Sentinel. But my duty as its appointed resonator is not the only reason for my decision. I'm following the heart of my younger self before I became Jinxi. The girl who used to laugh with pure joy as she felt the snow from Mount Firmament on her face. I'm a seed born on Mount Firmament, carried by the wind to every corner of Jinzhou. But now, I've returned to my place of origin. It's time for me to take root and grow into something greater.
No matter what happens or what choices you make, please remember, the people of Hongzhen will always have your back. Mount Firmament has been stagnant for eternity. Perhaps a sudden crack of lightning is what we need to break through the fog of uncertainty that has lingered over us for far too long. Once you pass through Hongzhen, keep your eyes open for a cave on the northern cliff. That will lead you to a shortcut towards Mianlun Chamber. The place is directly under Mount Firmament's iconic loon-shaped cliff. I wish you two the best of luck.
Here, hold up a second.